Good afternoon. I will be giving my evaluation on the informative speech on sleep using the 8 public speaking competencies. I will go through each competency and explain how I scored them and provide a total score at the end. For competency 1, I rated her a 4. She did seem to have practiced her speech a few times. It went fairly smoothly. Towards the end, she did reference her cards more, which made me feel like she hadn't practiced the ending as much, or there was just more facts and information that she needed to look at them closer. It did meet the time requirements as far as our class requirements are going. I'm not sure if her class had the same as ours, so it did seem to meet the assignment requirements as far as I know. For competency 2, she did use big facts for her introduction to get attention. She did state clearly what she was going to be talking about during her speech, and she did demonstrate how it did apply to everyone. For competency 3, I rated her a 4. She had several relevant sources. I didn't like how she mentioned that one of the sources was her mom. I think she could have done without that. But her main points were clear and listed them out. She did kind of throw in the CPAP as sort of an afterthought and demonstrated it as one of her visual aids. She probably had a requirement for a number of visual aids that she needed, and I feel like it was definitely an afterthought, and she just kind of threw it in there and didn't really go with the speech as much. For competency 4, I also rated her a 4. She used next a lot for all of her transitions, which I would have liked to hear some variation in that. Every time she was giving her tips, it's like next this, next that, next this, and it just needed more variety. She did summarize her points clearly at the end, and she did have a definitive ending with her little joke about falling asleep during her speech, which was a nice self-deprecating humor to have, a little joke, and I did like that. For competency 5, I rated her again a 4. Her speech did not come across as biased in any way, and she did bring attention to her voice at the beginning, which you're not supposed to do, and she did use a little bit of specialized language. Again, going back to the CPAP, she didn't even really explain what CPAP means or what it stands for, unless you caught it at the end when she just said what it was. I think that you could have used some clarification. Again, it felt very last minute and something just thrown in there to meet some check marks. For competency 6, I rated her a 3. Her voice stayed very level throughout the whole thing. She didn't have a lot of variation in pitch. Her volume stayed mostly the same. It, again, is just very level. For competency 7, I rated her a 4. She had good grammar. She didn't use ums or uhs a lot, and her delivery came across as very smooth. For competency 8, I gave her a 3. She did use okay eye contact with the camera, but she did pay a lot more attention to her PowerPoint presentation when she was giving it, like reading off of the screen. She had her cards in the hand, which we're not supposed to do, but she didn't have a podium to put them on, so I'm not sure how that, if we should be discounting her on that. She did have a lot of cards to use, so I think that kind of takes away from everything, but she did demonstrate using her hands, pointing to the board and stuff as much as she can. She looked like she was dressed nice. She didn't use a lot of nervous playing with her hair or anything like that, so it was an okay. My total for her I gave was a 30. Overall, I thought her speech was pretty good. There was like I said, a few things, but overall she hit the main points. She had a lot of good information, got a lot of good resources, and it was very well organized. So that's my evaluation, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. Have a good day.